We'll be talking about static ads. Static ads are kind of a funny topic to me because ever since we started creating video ads, we focused exclusively on creating video ads, especially at the very beginning. And the funny thing is that we take so much time to create our video ads. We shoot them, we edit them, we script everything, we make sure that everything is absolutely perfect. And then you get this random static ad, and that's outperforming all of your videos. So this is what happened at the very beginning of 99 ads. And that's when we started adding at least one static concept to all of our deliveries. But the funny thing is that once we started understanding how static ads actually work, how to actually get the most from our static ads, that's where everything has changed, at least as regards the static ads. So it's quite interesting to see how much it costs to produce a video ad compared to a static ad, and what is the return. If we're talking about returns, most likely static ads are very hard to beat. Anyways, in this video, you're going to learn everything you need to know about static ads and how to get the best results from static ads, pretty much. So as regards the topics and what we're going to cover in this video, we'll be talking about the static ads. Are they still relevant or not? The anatomy of a static ads and templates, branding on static ads and concepts, what is definition, how to swipe the right way, and some tips. And finally, what are the common pitfalls with static ads? Using template in not considering the text hierarchy in our images, failing the what's in it for me test, not enhancing the product, and failing on aspect ratio and safe zones. This is going to be a very good lesson. This is going to be, in terms of practicality, probably one of the most practical you're going to find in the course, and probably the one with the highest return, if I have to guess, as an individual lesson. So without further ado, let's dive in. Are static ads still relevant? Like videos, static ads can deliver your marketing message at one glance. And this is what makes them different. This is what makes static ads so good and so much different from videos. As videos grew in popularity, the public opinion became that static ads were confined to retargeting. However, static ads still perform incredibly well on many brands we work with and we don't work with. Delivering at least one static ad concept in every batch is what we're doing right now and what I would recommend you do as well. As regards the static ad anatomy, you have these elements. You have the product, you have the headline, you have the background, you have the call to action, and you have the branding piece. As regards the product, usually you want to show the product in use or in a comparison or as a close-up. You are instantly communicating to the prospect what's the point of the ad, and you want to include the product in the vast majority of your ads. This is what we do. And considering that everything is there at the first glance, you just want to make sure that the product is there. It would be like not having a product in your video ads. You want to put the product. Otherwise, it's hard to introduce a solution, right? And the same thing has to be done with your static ads. Then we have the headline, which is the text part of the ad. This is usually based on the angle we picked. We want to keep the headlines short and sweet. We want to generate desire for the product. There are many templates that revolve around the headlines. For example, the callouts that we're going to show you in a second. In copywriting is still key, is still incredibly relevant, especially on static ads. And it's funny how often people tend to think like whatever used to work in old school advertising doesn't work anymore. It does work. And static ads are a very clear example of why they work and how they work. Then you have the background. The background supports the rest of the image. For example, if you want to make the product pop up, you want to get a contrasting background on your static ads. And this also helps the algorithm understand our target. Then you have the call to actions. And here you want to avoid buttons because they can be confusing. People are not too technologically savvy, and sometimes they try to actually tap on the button and then they ask us why it doesn't work, and then you see the random comments, etc. So you want to avoid buttons for that reason. Discounts, scarcity, and clear incentives are absolutely mandatory in your static ads. And then you want to push the prospect to buy now. The sooner the better, as usual. Finally, you have the branding piece. You want to use specific colors, so your color palette, and you want to add your logo if nowhere you can see it. If you can see it on the product, most of the time that's enough, but just make sure you respect the brand guidelines. Now, as regards static ads, there's one thing that's interesting, and it's the use of concepts when it comes to static ads. Good static ads follow structures we call concepts. In the concepts help us describe the functionality or the benefits of our product. And once you find the best performing concepts, you want to reuse them. In this video, we're going to uncover some of the most common concepts, and these are something that I would recommend you start with, especially if you're not too used to creating static ads. Then you kind of want to recycle the best performing concepts. Now, one thing that we do differently compared to other people is combining concepts, combining more than one concept into a single ad and creating something new, basically based on something that works. Now, what are the concepts to test out? This is what we do. And when we start working with a new client that's in a new niche that we never worked with, we usually start from the ones that are already working within your industry. The way you find out what's working in your industry is simply searching by keywords on Foreplay to see what your competitors are using. So in this case, let me zoom in. In this case, you can see necklaces. So these are the concepts that they're using in the jewelry niche. And here you have supplements. So here you can see some of the concepts they're using in the supplement niche. Now, as regards branding on static ads, you want to represent the brand style. You want to make sure each and every static ad represent the brand. You want to make sure you don't go off brand when it comes to static ads, and you want to incorporate your branding. You want to use your logo, and you want to include your fonts in all of the ads, unless your fonts are not readable, which is something that I would fix like at the brand guidelines level. But if that's the case, then you might want to test out different fonts. If not, just stick to that. And you want to give your graphic designers visual references of the concepts. And the way you do it is by creating a board on Foreplay with static ads from brands that use a similar color palette to yours. Here you have some, and this is one of the boards that we used. Now, as regards the most common concepts, let's get started with the UGC weird bizarre concept. The definition, these are ads that don't look like an ad, and this is what grabs attention about them. And they are usually created around user-generated content, and they look genuine. This is also where we would include the meme ads. And meme ads are another very interesting topic that we can touch very quickly. one thing that we are testing out right now, and it's working like a charm, is asking ChatGPT to act as a meme lord and brainstorm visual ideas to create a meme ad for our product or problem. Here you have an example. As you can see, we're basically asking ChatGPT, act as a meme lord, help me brainstorm 5 visual ideas around the funky smell problem that my prospects, women looking for an intimate hygiene solution, are feeling about their intimate parts. The idea should place my product, intimate soap, as a solution. And here you can see before and after transformation, visual, split screen image, yada yada. The nose emoji journey, visual. Superhero soap saves the day, visual, and it explains how to set up the visual part. And then obviously there's the caption, magical transformation locker room, puzzle pieces coming together. This is very good. These are very solid ideas, and this is something I would recommend you do, especially for this specific concept. That being said, these are recommended for health and wellness. Pills alone are not too impactful. So if you are just putting some pills on a static ad, nobody's going to be interested in it. Whereas if we make them weird or bizarre, then it's going to become interesting. And also products with a strong problem solution claim that we can turn into a metaphor. How do we make them interesting? Here are the tips. The first one was about ChatGPT that I just showed you, but then you want to make all of your ads, static ads in this case, the UGC weird bizarre, immediate and effective. If they're immediate, they are effective. There's no one without the other. The analogy should be understandable right away if you are playing with analogies. Don't forget about selling. Images like these should communicate the benefits and the USP of a product. Don't do memes just to make your prospect laugh, but use memes that are doubling down on your problem, that are doubling down on your product, and so on. Examples. If you have joint pain, try this. As simple as that. 5 out of 5 penguins recommend the ice pod. This is great. Creates a natural skin barrier. High school me, adult me. In Coffee Bestie, collagen burn. These are great examples. They represent the concept we're talking about very, very well. Now, split screen is another one. This is probably one of the most popular, I guess. Comparison side by side of 2 different scenarios is one of the options you have, but then you have also the before and after using the product. You have the problem versus solution. You have the setting the product apart from the competition using the us versus them. And these are recommended for disrupting products that are pretty much in any industry. If we have a competitive advantage that's quite unique, we can definitely use this, especially the us versus them. Products that take a bit longer to show results, so we can build a little bit of trust, which is hard to do with videos. We can show the product results. So that applies to skincare, anti-aging, weight loss, health and wellness, and so on. As regards the tips, emphasizing the right elements, using color and contrast to highlight the after situation or the us. Dream outcomes should look better and more vivid. Using both sides properly. Sometimes you can see the before just thrown there, but it's a 50% of your ad. It's 50% of your static ad. So make sure everything has a purpose and you're leveraging each and every element you're adding to your ad. Put the before situation on the left of the canvas. Put the product on the left in us versus them concepts. Examples. Here you have a person using the product and the actual products with a headline and some text. Here you have the us versus them. Here you have a comment, a Facebook comment, and the before and after. Here you have the product used and the actual product shown. And here you have the before and after day 1 versus day 90. Then we have overlays. As a definition, you want to place a person, the product, or details of the product as an overlay to another image so that you can highlight a specific element. Overlays are powerful attention grabbers because they create a three-dimensional effect that users are not accustomed to. These are recommended for services when we can showcase impressive results, and also for fashion when we can showcase the tiniest details of our product or more options available and so on. As regards the tips, you want to avoid overdoing with elements. Play it simple. The overlay should be just one element, and you want to play a bit with drop shadow to give it a 3D effect without making the ads too heavy to consume for the person. Examples here, you can see the overlay person with the product. You can see here an overlay of a detail of the product. Here, same thing. Here, there's an overlay of the product itself in front of the background. Here you can see that we're using the background to help the algorithm understand who we want to target. And here is pretty much the same. We have 4 images of people that are using our product and then are happy with it. And in front of it, we have an extra overlay of our product that pops out of the screen. Then we have breakdowns. The definition is basically all of the static ads that break down products' features and or benefits. Breakdowns work well because they are similar to mind maps for our brain and they make it easy for people to digest information. Callouts permit us to give the prospect on average way more information than what we can give them with simple images. In as regards the niches, this is recommended for. We have sport, wellness, and recovery, and then supplements, anti-aging, and all the products that are based on a recipe. As regards the tips, just keep the text short. I cannot say this enough. Avoid walls of text. Text should be 3 to 5 words in total, and you don't want to go over 2 lines. Here are some examples. 14K yellow gold, oval moonstone, marquise blue sapphires, round white diamonds. Here you have more features, and this is an interesting grid that you can use as well. Here we have more features. Here we have the recipe. Here we have the recipe as well. So all these breakdowns are very, very powerful. They're very effective when it comes to getting sales. Then we have testimonials. The definition is quite simple. These are ads based on customer reviews, usually combined with a picture of the product or of the actual client using it. These are recommended for pretty much all brands, especially in retargeting. You want to avoid testimonials at the top of the funnel as the audience is unaware of our solution. They don't know our brand. That's not ideal. As regards the tips, picking the right testimonial, providing value to the prospect, ideally benefits of the product or addressing common objections, considering negative testimonials too. If you have somebody complaining about something that is actually a benefit of your product, use it to build more trust. And then finally, adding additional social proof. So you can test out magazine endorsements or quantitative social proof. As regards the examples, here you have some. As you can see, we are combining them with other concepts, which is the main point of what we're doing here. Finally, we have, that's not finally, there's more. We have Callout Ads, definition, following up on the prospect using a strong headline, call out. Callouts can also show a solution or a promise to solve the pain, to alleviate the pain that prospects are experiencing. These are recommended for pretty much every niche with a well-defined and narrowed audience like doctors, professionals, pet owners, hunters, lawyers, and so on. As regards to tips, calling the audience by name, this is good for targeting. People resonate better with the message if you call them out. And I would recommend also adding contrast. Making the text stand out with color, spacing, or contrast gets higher CTR percentage and more conversions. Here are some examples. Superior nutrition for superior results. Designed to turn heads everywhere you go. Meaningful just because gifts for hair. Stop buying yogurt, just make it yourself. Make 2024 your healthiest year. And then we have platform user experience definition. Here we want to replicate other platforms like Twitter, AirDrop, Paint, Notes, or popular websites like adult sites or magazines. Creating a pattern that interrupts, feels native on the feed, and resonates with your audience, given you're using a platform that they actually use. These are recommended for all brands that sell something. All brands can pretty much benefit from this concept. And the main difference is that the platform will change based on what you're selling, based on what the prospect consumes, and so on. As regards the tips, don't limit yourself to online platforms. You can also try billboards, real magazines, mail, etc. Just make sure you use your creativity and you look for the actual platforms and user experiences that your prospects are used to, what they check out on a daily basis. Here, for example, you have Notes on the iPhone, weight loss program for men. And here you have also the emojis that are quite interesting. Then you have a billboard here. Here you have another platform. Here you have what is called iMessage. No, this is the message on iPhone. Here you have an actual headline on an article, magazine article. So these are all things you can test out. Then as regards other concepts, just going through them quickly, we have the people-based concepts. These are simply some user-generated content where people are showing how they use the product. In product-based, so this is the same thing, but with cool pictures of your product. Discount ads, these obviously tend to work very, very well. And this is where we use static ads to promote an offer that we are launching for our clients. Red View, this is another interesting one. Probably a little older, if you ask me, but still it's got its own place in the market. In terms of the common pitfalls, you have one of the main ones, in my opinion, which is forgetting about the text hierarchy. Humans process information according to the size and the weight of the font. Most important elements should be bigger and bolder. And here you can follow the GBP structure to understand what you want them to read first. So the gut is what they want to read first. Then you will read this line text. Here is going to be the brain. And then you have the pocket. It's quite interesting how this image explains perfectly how you read everything. This is the text hierarchy, and I really want you to just download this image so that every time you create static ads, you have it in front of you. Then failing at providing value is another pitfall. Static images should always reply to the question, what's in it for me as a user, as a prospect? Either providing a solution to the problem or providing value to the customer. Ads that fail this test are not worth testing. And don't try to include all elements at once. This is something that I would recommend avoiding. Use elements that work well with the chosen concept. Too many elements are a distraction for the audience, and sometimes one or two of these items are more than enough. Then not showing the product is another pitfall, quite obvious. Show the product whenever possible. Not respecting safe zones is definitely not ideal, so we recommend using safe zones. And here is a simple example, but you can find all of the other safe zones in the resource section. In too much text, again, is a big problem. You want to limit your text to the minimum. And usually too many words mean the image is neither clear nor immediate. So if you need so much text, probably means that whatever is behind the text is not ideal. So either you change it or you remake it. And then don't expect people to read more than one sentence. Just don't take that for granted. Now, as regards how to enhance static ads, showing people whenever possible is a very good way to enhance your static ads. You can include faces, people, human emotions, or UGC content. Playing with the product, showing the product in use, its interface, or the package with the accessories, different colors in the product details. Playing with colors and contrast is another very good option that you have at your disposal. Making the image brighter and adding a colorful element or border. Changing the colors to make it more powerful is also an interesting option you have at your disposal. Then playing with overlay and spacing is something that you can definitely do, and you can add an element of curiosity in overlay. That can be with text, color, or image. Then taking advantage of split screens, that's definitely something, as I showed you above. The grids are very good. They're great also with the vertical split screens. Here you have some options. These are incredibly effective in making the product stand out, playing with glows and with shadows. Now, out of all of the concepts I showed you, the overall overarching principle is that you want to mix and match these proven to work concepts as much as you can. The more you can mix and match them, the more you are creating something new from something that's already proven to work. And that's the goal. That's the actual results we want to get. Now, as regards to conclusions, most people understand that static ads are based on pre-existing concepts, but very few of them get the true power comes from mixing and matching these templates together. People are craving for new ideas, and this can be an effective way to mix what we already know to be effective with new layouts. While doing these tests, always remember to be consistent with your brand colors and the overall style of your niche. So, this is pretty much it. I think this is one of the most in-depth videos about static ads. There's very much about it, and I'm pretty sure you can find a lot of inspiration from this and a lot of instructions that you can use to create your future winning static ads. So hopefully this is all clear. If not, please do refer to your coach. As usual, ask them what are your doubts, what are your thoughts about what you listen to here in this video. And as usual, I'll see you in the next video.